Today we are working Psalm 42. Some traditional magical uses for Psalm 42 include receiving spiritual guidance, for vitality, to reconcile a love relationship, for prophetic dreams, to have the higher self guide the personality, and to open channels of opportunity. I like that one. Let's open channels of opportunity. To work psalm magic is very simple, easy, and effective. We take the psalm in question and we speak it out loud all the way through once without stopping. We call this an incantation. After we finish that, we go back through the psalm and we take one verse at a time in order. And we search for hidden meanings, often called occult meanings, that lie within each verse. And as we dig for those and uncover them and then apply what we find to the situation that we've brought to the psalm, we are in effect dislodging all of the magic seeds that are available for us for this spell that we're working and planting them in the depths of our mind, where they take root, they grow, they blossom forth, and they bear fruit after their kind. And that is exactly what you and I are going to do together right now with Psalm 42. As the hart panteth after the water brooks, so panteth my soul after thee, O God. My soul thirsteth for God, for the living God. When shall I come and appear before God? My tears have been my meat day and night, while they continually say unto me, Where is thy God? When I remember these things, I pour out my soul in me, for I had gone with the multitude. I went with them to the house of God, with the voice of joy and praise, with a multitude that kept holy day. Why art thou cast down, O my soul, and why art thou disquieted in me? Hope thou in God, for I shall yet praise him for the help of his countenance. O my God, my soul is cast down within me, therefore will I remember thee from the land of Jordan, and of the Hermonites, from the hill of Mizar. Deep calleth unto deep at the noise of thy waterspouts. All thy waves and thy billows are gone over me. Yet the Lord will command his loving kindness in the daytime, and in the night his song shall be with me, and my prayer unto the God of my life. I will say unto God my rock, Why hast thou forgotten me? Why go I mourning because of the oppression of the enemy? As with a sword in my bones mine enemies reproach me, while they say daily unto me, Where is thy God? Why art thou cast down, O my soul, and why art thou disquieted within me? Hope thou in God, for I shall yet praise him, who is the health of my countenance, and my God. This starts out with an image of a deer searching for water where the brook has gone dry, panting after water. We're likening that image to our need for the presence of the infinite in our lives. When we don't have any water to drink, or when there's no air to breathe, or there's no food to eat, our minds all of a sudden understand what's important in that moment, because our bodies are crying out for the water or the air or the food. And that is what we have to recognize our soul cries out for when we don't allow ourselves to feast upon the presence of the infinite, to be quenched by the presence of the infinite. My soul thirsteth for God, for the living God. When shall I come and appear before God? The soul doesn't really thirst for God because the soul is always satisfied. But the deep mind is what the Psalms mean when they say the soul. The depths of my being, if I'm not experiencing the presence of the infinite, the ego mind tends to distract us and think about something else that we need instead. Whatever the ego is pointing out to us that we need, like in this case, we want a new opportunity, but whatever your need happens to be, the ego's entire game is seek but don't find, trying to search for the satisfaction of whatever it is that we think we need or we think we want everywhere that it's not. Because the ego doesn't understand the only way that we can achieve anything in this world is by turning to the presence of the infinite. Turning to the presence of the infinite simply means turning to our source, and our source never runs dry. There's no thirsting when we recognize that that fountain of the infinite is always available to us. It's always within us. And if we no longer allow ourselves to be hypnotized by the ideas that we have to search out there, everybody's talking about manifestation. Just manifest it. Just manifest it. Well, it's true. You can just manifest it, but you manifest it by turning and facing the source and allowing that manifestation to happen through you. We think we're supposed to manifest things all by ourselves, and that becomes very stressful for us. But the reality is that we do have the power to manifest anything we desire, but it's through the awareness of our oneness with the source. And we have to thirst for that. We have to recognize that that's the only thing we want. My tears have been my meat day and night, while they continually say to me, "Where is thy God?" Water is the main symbol of this psalm. At first, it's this symbol of the deer being thirsty and recognizing our thirst for the infinite. Now it's recognizing that one of the reasons why we need so much water to quench our thirst is because we have been crying. Our tears have been the only thing that we've been understanding. It says, "My tears have been my meat day and night, while they continually say unto me, Where is thy God?" So who's the they that is taunting us? It is our own inner thoughts. It is our own ego mind. Where is your God? Where is your God? Well, the ego is going to say your God is in that paycheck. Your God is in that car. Your God is in that relationship. Your God is in that sexual encounter. Your God is in that food, in that body type, in whatever it is in the physical world that you think is going to bring you happiness. So those voices are always going to try to pull you away from what will quench your thirst. And that's why your tears are going to be day and night, because you're always going to be sad when you look for the satisfaction that you need in places where it does not exist. And it's not saying that you can't have those things. Like we said before, you can manifest anything you desire, but it's through your awareness of your connection to the infinite that those manifestations happen. And the thirst is quenched by that presence, not by the manifestations. The manifestations are an effect of that quenching of your thirst. When I remember these things, I pour out my soul in me, for I had gone with the multitude. I went with them to the house of God, with the voice of joy and praise, with a multitude that kept holy day. So it's talking about remembering when things were working out for you. Remember when things did work out. The reason why things worked out is because on one level or another, you were at one with your source. You may not have called it that, but you know the feeling of being satisfied regardless of what's going on in your physical world. That happiness that you don't need to justify. And feel the times in your history when you have felt at one. There have been times. Your ego will want you to not remember those things, but those memories are there. Why art thou cast down, O my soul, and why art thou disquieted in me? Hope thou in God, for I shall yet praise him for the help of his countenance. There's a formula in here for manifesting this opportunity. The formula is to experience the countenance of the infinite. The countenance is the face. The face simply means proof of identity. You know someone because of their face. Facial recognition software on your phone knows that it's you because of your face. The face of the infinite isn't a physical face. It's the experience of the good in your life, the proof that the infinite is there. The way that you get the help of the countenance, in other words, the proof of the good in your life, is through praise. Praise means enthusiastically acknowledging that something is good. The infinite proves itself in your life by what is good. The ego wants to keep you focused on what's not good. So if you think, oh, there's nothing good in my life, you're listening to a voice that will never bring you what you want. But if you recognize there's multitudes of good in my life, the face of God is everywhere in my life. I ate some food today. I have a house. I have some income. I have people I love. I have things I enjoy doing. I have a car, whatever it is. You can list it and list it and list it. And it's not because you should be grateful for those things, because who are you to want more? It's that if you praise those things, if you get enthusiastic about how good the things are in your life, you're connecting to that source. You're no longer thirsting after that source, and therefore your good expands quickly and substantially. When it says, "Why art thou cast down, O my soul, and why art thou disquieted in me?" What are you doing with your mind? Why are you allowing yourself to focus on being cast down and how bad you think everything is? How do you think that's going to open up this new opportunity for you? It's asking you. Don't do that, it's saying. Instead, hope in God, meaning put your attention on the good in your life. That's what God is. It's not an external deity that requires you to appease him. The God that we're talking about here is everything good in your life, and if you praise what's good in your life, it's impossible for you not to have that good expand. Just like it's impossible for you not to come back down to earth when you jump up. It's just a law. So praising that which is good expands your good and opens up this opportunity that you're desiring. O my God, my soul is cast down within me, therefore will I remember thee from the land of Jordan and of the Hermonites, from the hill of Mizar. The Hermonites and the hill of Mizar, we're talking about big things, tall things. The tall things can either be big problems that need to be overcome, or they can be, depending on how you choose to look at them, big good in your life. Great, wonderful, good things in your life. It depends on what you're focusing on. But focus on the good in your life expanded within you. Therefore will deep calleth unto deep at the noise of thy waterspouts. All the waves and thy billows are gone over me. The river Jordan is wide. It's deep. Water was not only something that would quench your thirst, but it's also something that could swallow you up. And that was very scary, and is still very scary. Deep calleth unto deep at the noise of thy waterspouts. The more you focus on the depth of your good, the more that good expands, because it's deep calling unto deep. And it's a fountain of water that's the presence of the infinite. When you really allow yourself to be at one with the presence of the infinite and allow yourself to be overtaken by it, it can seem overwhelming at first. Your job is to have trust and put your faith in the understanding that the water of the infinite is there to quench you, to cleanse you, and also to carry you to the destination which you desire. Allowing yourself to feel overwhelmed by your problems is the way that ego will deal with this whole idea of the river Jordan when it says, "All thy waves and thy billows are gone over me." So we want the waves and the billows to go over you from the infinite, not from the ego. Yet the Lord will command his loving kindness in the daytime, and in the night his song shall be with me, and my prayer unto the God of my life. This is a common teaching in the Psalms, to allow your thought to be one with the infinite day and night. You wake up, the first thing you want to think about is the presence of the infinite. All through the day, when you notice you're ruminating over something, allow that to be a reminder to put your mind back onto thoughts of the infinite. As you go to sleep at night, you want to think thoughts of the infinite. Allow yourself to acknowledge your oneness with your good. The only way that you can really do that is by being specific about your good. I think one of the problems we have in this world is that people get very religious about things and they don't understand. They think, well, there's some deity that I need to appease. There's some concept of a creator out there. There's something up in heaven. There's something that's going to happen when I die. And none of these things are helpful. The only way you can truly be at one with the infinite is by looking at the expressions of good in your life and praising them, acknowledging them, and coming back to them again and again. I will say unto God my rock, why hast thou forgotten me? Why go I mourning because of the oppression of the enemy? Whenever the Psalms say, why have you forgotten me? It's a reminder that we don't want to forget the infinite. The infinite never forgets you. If the infinite forgot you, you would not be here. The reason you exist is because you are a thought in the mind of the infinite, and the infinite never stops thinking of you. But we forget about the infinite, and we start to think in terms of what the ego mind is showing us, which is unsolvable problems. What we're being called on to do here is reorient our minds again and again to remembering and not forgetting the infinite. It says, why go I mourning because of the oppression of mine enemy? It's a rhetorical question based on the fact that we forgot to think of the infinite. When it says, I will say unto God my rock, why hast thou forgotten me? Remember, that means, why am I forgetting you? And then that's the answer to why go I mourning, because of the oppression of the enemy. The enemy is the ego mind within you. As with a sword in my bones, mine enemies reproach me, while they say daily unto me, where is thy God? It could be seen as a mocking, like, oh, you believe in God, you silly fool. But there's another way to look at that, and that's the ego is always asking you, where is your God? Isn't it that money? Isn't it that doctor? Isn't it that supplement? Isn't it those drugs? Isn't it that relationship? It's out here. Why art thou cast down, O my soul, and why art thou disquieted within me? It's reiterating the same poetry from before, just to drive the point home. Why art thou cast down, O my soul, and why art thou disquieted within me? Hope thou in God, for I shall yet praise him, who is the health of my countenance and my God. Again, that same formula, it's been spoken twice verbatim. And it's teaching us how we can have what we want here. So whether you've come to this psalm to overcome a problem or because you want to open up a new opportunity for yourself, it's giving you the formula very clearly. What are you doing with your mind? Are you cast down? Are you constantly ruminating on why things aren't working, which is usually the way of the ego? We have to make sure that you understand how bad everything is, and we'll give it our best shot to try to get through this day. We'll give it our best shot to try to get through these problems. According to this psalm, turn away from that thinking altogether and put your hope, meaning put your attention on the infinite. And praise the infinite. And you praise the infinite by being specific. And the infinite is the health of your countenance and your God. So your countenance is the way you're recognized, just like the infinite's countenance is the way the infinite is recognized. You meet by acknowledging where the good is manifest in your life. That's how you show your face to the infinite, and the infinite's face is revealed to you. And it's by praising all of the good in your life that expands. It's the law of the universe that nothing happens without your permission and without you asking. Otherwise, it would be akin to some sort of an attack. If the infinite just started heaping blessings upon you that you didn't ask for, you're being attacked in essence. The infinite does heap blessings on you constantly, but those blessings just pile up around you until you're willing to receive them, and you receive them by asking for them. The way you ask for them is by recognizing the good in your life and praising it. That is saying, please turn on the floodgates so that I have more good. So you just keep coming back to this psalm again and again until you get a sense that all is well. You'll get a sense of peace and certainty about whatever the situation is that you brought to the psalm. And that's the indicator to you from your deep mind that your spell has been cast and you can move on to something else. Thank you so much for joining me today. Until next time, blessed be.